Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. As we all may know already, the Saints trade star cornerback, lockdown cornerback, Marshon Lattimore to the Washington Commanders. Tough day, man. Tough day. We kind of expected this for, all season, basically all season, that Marshon Lattimore will be traded. It was rumored the Chiefs were involved, the Ravens were involved, the Commanders, basically all, championship caliber teams seem to have a chance to win it this year. So Marshon Lattimore leaves. I think we do get good value for Marshon Lattimore back. I'm going to read the full trade details out. The Saints get their Washington's 3rd pick, Washington's 4th round pick, also a 6th round pick from Washington, and then the Saints give up a 5th round pick and Marshon Lattimore, of course. I think it's a really, really good trade. I think that's almost like a second value with that 3rd, 4th, and the 6th. That almost gives you a 2nd round value, maybe a high 2nd, early 3rd round pick value for Marshon Lattimore. And at this point, getting that from him is pretty good. We've been seeing really, really good players in the league go for 4th round, 5th round, and even 6th round picks. So to get, that much compensation for Lattimore, I'm not going to complain about that. I think it's a good win for the Saints. Also, a hell of a win for the Commanders getting that. Now, obviously, trading Lattimore, that can mean a lot of things, man. You take a big, big cap hit when you trade Marshon Lattimore. I think it's $31 million with Lattimore. Now, if you're going to take that cap hit with Lattimore and that dead money, obviously it's coming. It's coming. What the Saints been avoiding, what we've been doing for a long time, I think it's coming. I think it's a full blow up happening. I was kind of on the fence. I didn't know what they were going to do. And maybe it won't all happen at the trade deadline because that's just not possible. Maybe in the offseason, they just nuke this entire roster. Derek Carr, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Ryan Ramczyk, everybody just get nuked. Alvin Kamara, who knows how this is going to play out. But this Lattimore trade is telling. It's very telling to me. It should be telling to you as well because that's one of our better players. That's 28 years old. And to just get rid of him and eat that money, that's telling you that the Saints they're in for a change right now. I don't know if it's a Kale decision. I don't know if it's a Mickey Loomis decision. Mickey Loomis could just be running around mad and say, since Dennis Allen's gone, I'm gonna trade Dennis Allen's biggest op and get him out of here as well. So I don't know. I don't even know who's running the team right now. But as a Saints fan, that's troubling for me at least. That's troubling. I don't know who's running the team. Is Gail Benson running this team? Is Mickey Loomis running this team? We don't really have a coach because Ridley's just been there for 2 days now or a day now. So who's running the franchise for the New Orleans Saints? That's a big question that we need to ask ourselves. They kind of need to answer. Is Mickey Loomis making these trades? Gail Benson saying, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Who the hell is running this franchise? And what plan do we have? I just don't understand how you think you're going to get a high-valued coach and you're making all these decisions. Because at this point, I think you could have got that same compensation for Lattimore, maybe a little less because it's end of the season and contenders are not going to be involved. Maybe you could have still got a 3rd out of him in an offseason. How about you get a head coach in here and let's see what he wants to do with this roster. Maybe a new head coach would love to have Marshon Lattimore and just, get rid of everyone else. Maybe a new head coach would love Derek Carr and want someone else. Who knows what a new guy's going to... If he does, then he probably shouldn't be the head coach. But anyways, who knows what a new guy wants to come in and do. So, like I said, I'm not mad at the compensation we got for this trade. I think that's really, really good compensation for Marshon Lattimore. But if you're going to do this, you have to blow it up, in my opinion. You can't just trade Lattimore and then keep Cam Jordan and keep Demario Davis and keep Alvin Kamara and keep this and keep that. If you're going to blow it up, blow it up. I went through the roster before and I listed off a lot of players that I didn't care if I saw in the Saints uniform again. And I'm just going to be honest about that. Derek Carr obviously was one of those guys. I don't care if I see him in the Saints uniform again. And if I don't, great. Cesar Ruiz was one of those guys. Don't care if I ever see him in the Saints uniform again. I would not care whatsoever. Cam Jordan, legend. So I'm not going to talk bad about him, but if he never played for the Saints again, I would not care. Kalen Saunders, Nathan Shepard, would not care. Carl Granderson, I'm on the fence with, but if he left for some good compensation, would not care. Demario Davis, another legend, would not care. Tyrann Mathieu, Louisiana legend, LSU legend, would not care. Would not care. If we're going to blow it up, blow it up. You can rebuild fast. I've watched Washington do it in a year. You can rebuild fast, eat all the money in one season. Get all the dead cap out the way, knock it out. Just knock it out this year. Get rid of everybody. Blow it up. Blow it up. Let's have some fun. And honestly, if you blow it up, I honestly think you don't get a head coach. I honestly think you get like Rizzy. So if you blow it up, let's just think. You want the top guys that's, on your list. Maybe it's variable. Maybe it's Ben Johnson. Maybe it's whoever you want it to be. Maybe it's Aaron Glenn. None of those guys want to come into a situation where you're $100 million dead cap. You haven't drafted well. You don't have talent on the roster. You have a bad offensive line, a bad defensive line. No cornerbacks, even though I think cornerbacks are good. Alontae Taylor and Kool-Aid, which we'll talk about a little bit. What head coach wants to start off his career with that? You're going to have to get a guy that honestly just wants a head coaching job. Now, that might end up being a guy like Rizzy. If he could come in, rally the troops, have a good 7-8 games, who knows what's going to happen with the head coaching search. But if I'm Ben Johnson, you telling me I'm not going to have Lattimore, I'm not going to have Demario Davis, I might not have Kamara, I'm not going to have Tyron, I'm not going to have this, I'm not going to have that. Oh, also we haven't drafted well. Also we're at $100 million over the cap. What the hell? Why would I come to this situation? I would just stay the offensive coordinator for the Lions and wait for a better opportunity to open up. So I think this is going to hurt the Saints in the head coaching search in the long run. But it is what it is. Maybe a coach would like that because maybe he get to build his team from scratch and know he's going to have a window an opportunity to win and not have pressure those first 2 years to win. But obviously the coach understands he won't have pressure to win because results don't matter. Our GM said that. He don't care. You can go out and lose every game and you'll still be the head coach of the Saints because that's what we've been doing over here. But let's talk football a little bit. Obviously Lattimore not on the team anymore. So what does that mean for the cornerbacks? Debo's probably never going to play a snap for the Saints again as well. So you lost Lattimore, you lost Debo. That's both of your starting cornerbacks won't be here next year. So that leaves you Kool-Aid and that leaves you Alontae Taylor. Alontae Taylor, I've already said, he's been one of the best players, if not the best players on the Saints roster this year. He's been really, really good at corner, inside and outside. So we really have cornerback one in the building already. So I'm not even concerned about that. Kool-Aid, that's a question mark. He's going to have to show what he can do. He has all the potential in the world. He's a really, really good corner. And obviously the Saints have been preparing for this, man. They've been preparing to replace Marshon Lattimore. You got a Debo, you got Alontae, you got Kool-Aid. Like you were preparing to replace Marshon Lattimore. And obviously, so we've been prepared for this. This is the one position we've been prepared to move on from. We didn't prepare for quarterback with Drew Brees. We didn't really prepare for receivers. We haven't prepared for defensive line. Well, we tried to prepare for defensive line. It just failed. We didn't prepare for safety. So we've been ill prepared to move on from guys and replace them with guys ready to play. But cornerback, this basically is the only position where I felt confident if we lost our best player that we'll be all right. We see a receiver. We lose Olave. We're not prepared. We lose Derek Carr, even though he ain't that good. We ain't prepared. We lose Kamara. We ain't prepared. Like, we lose a safety, we're not prepared. We lose Mario, not prepared. Like, so we haven't been prepared in any situation we've lost a player. So now, at cornerback, I think we are prepared. So I do think that is the positive. The cornerbacks are the best, part of this team right now. So we'll see what happens, man. It does suck that we lose Marshon Lattimore, but hey, what are you gonna do? Look like the tankathon is on. And we'll see if we make any more moves before this deadline's over with. But yeah, we do lose Marshon Lattimore. That's gonna hurt, man. That's gonna hurt. That sucks. And we play the Commanders this year. If he picks off Derek Carr, I just don't know. I just don't know. But hey, man, I'm excited to see where we go. This is excitement. This is like an off season already for us, man. Off season is a lot of optimism, a lot of hope, a lot of things going on. So this is basically the off season in the season for the Saints, and I think that's exciting, to be honest. It makes the season more exciting. It makes every week more exciting. Maybe we get to see some young guys. Maybe we get to see some things. So who knows what's gonna happen, man? And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But man, Marshon Lattimore is no longer a Saint. I think we did get good compensation for him. So whoever made that trade, I think they did a good job of it, in my opinion. So thank y'all for tuning in once again, man. As always, it's Taboo Tragedies. And I'm out.
One last time, let's make it the greatest